left. It's going to come down.
Favor making a third as he looks up. Making a finds the draw three. Stunning here from
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. CJ has finally graced us with his presence. He was stuck in traffic, but we still have another game coming up, and it's the good old West Garfield Park against JJ's team. We'll see if his prayers were enough.
You think he prayed for this matchup?
Oh,
Connor?
he did. Do you want me to read off the prayer? He did.
Oh,
yeah, he did. He did another prayer. Let's go to JJ's Twitter. Let's scroll down. Lord,
tough matchup.
let my
to pray
failures
for.
breed success, and let it be in your name. I am your sheep, and you are my shepherd. Lead me, for I am lost without you, and finally lead me from this wasteland into the promised land. Hashtag SCS6, make history.
And in round 2, he gets West Garfield Park, who just came off of narrowly. I lost 25,000 channel points voting West Garfield. You know, that's totally unrelated. I thought they were a lock to beat Juicers. Okay,
They beat them. I mean, they went to max OT on Decider last time they played. They played in the semis.
I mean, no disrespect. I voted the farm all 25,000 points, and they lost. I couldn't believe it. And I guess, well, now I get to cast them. I guess this INCONTROL team. Obviously, JJ has a lot to prove. He's got a team he's confident about. I saw the tweet.
Yeah, very confident.
So let's see, JJ. Let's see. And here's the thing. He's confident about a bunch of guys. I've heard of Owen. We've casted Owen before from Windstorm. But
yeah.
Sirius and Cardi Cereal and Sean is that
Sean
Salt?
is Salt. Sean is Salt. See, you weren't down in the slums like me in the old ESA Rivals and Contenders series when I started casting. You're already in the big boy CL when I was trying to catch up. But Sirius and Cereal, they're demons, let me tell you. But are they as demonic as the West Garfield Park roster, which on paper is just pound for pound fighter of the year bio, barring Forrest, Psychosis, and Rudy?
I mean, like I said, I literally bet the farm on those guys because I thought there was no way. I know Razor's literally just God, apparently. But, like, I thought that team was the greatest team to ever exist. But, obviously, the T3 teams can fight with them. And we're going to see that, whether that will remain the case. Clubhouse is going to be our battlefield here in round number 2. West Garfield and INCONTROL Nation. West Garfield coming off that horrific loss. They almost made the Pro-Am. Now they're trying to make stage 2 as a
they're
team.
trying to capitalize on those wonderful, gigantic amount of points that they got.
Yeah,
try to go to the Pro-Am.
That's pretty relevant, actually.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, all of a sudden with West. So the thing is, if you saw One Shot posting on Twitter that, hey guys, we got a Pro-Am spot, that was us assuming that West Garfield Park was not playing because they said that they were not. And they said, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna make sure that doesn't happen. And then One Shot doesn't get a freebie. So now if West Garfield Park finish higher than One Shot, then they potentially if One Shot fizzles out in the groups or something like that, they don't have a spot on lock anymore. In West Garfield Park, you got to look into Baring's eyes. His super intimidating profile picture of him with a massive beard and swole man.
He's like swole.
He's like, I am Baring. Gotcha taught me everything.
I couldn't believe that picture. I thought it was like a meme. I thought it was
that is him, and he is a beast of a man.
Baring looks like he would just deck you if you if you try to talk to his girl. Don't do that.
You say Baring's trolling on the entry, bro, and he picks you up over his head, snaps your knee like he's Bane, bro.
Yeah, like imagine that guy at LAN. Ooh. You shake his hand and you snap your wrist. Yeah, snap your whole forearm.
you got poison wrist after that one.
Yeah, so I'm rooting for a lot of those guys on that team. You know, they're comeback stories. But of course, on the side of INCONTROL, hey, JJ's been he's turned into the underdog at this point. Yeah. He's
whether it's his own talking that puts him as the underdog, or it's just bad results. But if results have spoken for poor JJ, he's never made it into a qual, so he's probably gonna have to type ! play in chat and make sure to sign up for the second piece of these quals, because if you tried your luck this time and you can't make it, then you still got next week. Or if your team, maybe some people were out of town or you didn't have your team formed, you can make sure to come in. It's only $50, about $10 a player, to almost have a entire month worth of playing which is great, as well as at the very worst, you get 8 BO1s, maybe BO3s if you do well. Seems like a pretty good deal.
You get a lot of airtime. You get a lot of
do get a lot of airtime.
Game time.
Get a lot of marketability.
Absolutely. You know, like, I don't know. You say you know who Serial and Sirius are. I don't. They're going to market themselves to me today when we watch them. Because if they stink, then I'm going to assume they stink. Off this one game, I don't care what they did for the past 3 years. They just automatically aren't good enough. Just because of one game. Just kidding, by the way. But yes, I'm actually excited to see them prove themselves as well.
That's why we picked this game. Yeah, they got a lot to prove. In West Garfield Park, they don't really have a whole lot to prove because they're very proven players, but maybe they're going to troll. Maybe they're going to troll today.
Maybe.
Barring a streaming perspective, so I got to listen to a little bit of the comms. They seem chill. They seem vibey. They won their last game 7-2. They're trying to just rack up these points.
They're trying.
It's the biggest thing. You got to try at least.
Yeah, I mean, you said, they're vibing. They're feeling good. They've got all the clout. They've got all the swag. They shouldn't feel, pressured like, oh my God, my life depends on this. Because that's how you slip up and make mistakes. And for lack of better words, the moment gets too big for you because you're overwhelmed with emotional exertion. So that's why that team is just vibe central,
and CJ,
honestly.
I had a promise to Mr. Biologic that I would tell you the origins of West Garfield Park's name.
Yeah, tell me.
It comes from Biologic, like you said, being born in Chicago, but Rudy says that Bio's always got shooters around him, especially on this team. So that's why West Garfield Park.
And that's like a Chirac joke, ain't it? Like mixed in there somewhere. All right. I like it. That team name just got 10 times better for me. Actually, that's pretty funny.
Yep. I mean, and you got to say, he has shooters on the team. I mean, they looked very good all the way through the standalone tournament, and they're going to try to continue pushing forward. Nothing really scary or interesting about a Thatcher Hibana ban. You come to expect it. We'll probably see Valken Mira go down. Maybe a Cade if they're feeling a little bit saucy, but with Mav up, you would expect that everybody knows how to play Mav on Clubhouse. It's a pretty default thing. So
I wouldn't be so sure. I would not be so sure. I've watched the T3 scripts. What's it called? The TMs. I've seen people. I watched. Shout out to Arrow. He got dropped today, but I was watching the stream yesterday, and some dude, I don't know, it was some Arctic PRS guy. He could not map the wall on this map.
That's not very marketable. Game. Not very marketable.
But I'm just saying, I watched that stream, and some people in T3 cannot map. So I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just saying.
Also, somebody pick up Arrow, please. I'm on my knees.
Yeah, like
Gasher's Goons. I'm looking at you. CZ left you. Pick up Arrow.
What the hell? I mean, I was sitting in traffic, and then I got out of traffic. I was in traffic for 3 hours. I got out and I saw that news, and it ruined my whole day. Worse than the traffic ruined my day. Dang. That's how it puts it in perspective. How ridiculous that move is. But they're not playing in this game. We're watching West Garfield and INCONTROL. We're watching West Garfield trying to collect lightning in a bottle. Or I guess continue doing so. They just had a great tournament finish, and they're looking to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, Clubhouse, it's just like the map that we just watched. It's a good old gut check. But if you remember, this is actually the map that good old West Garfield baptized Mr. Mirage's team in biblical fashion. Forrest dropped a 20 bomb on Thomas's head.
But see, Nats, Mirage wasn't trying.
Defaults against defaults. Better team.
By the way, hold up. Even in that game, whoever the Mav was from Mirage couldn't map the wall. That was pretty funny. Actually.
Yeah, I guess it's not only reserved to T3 teams. Maybe it's even pro teams don't know how to Mav.
Yes, that's not a given. JJ's on it. JJ's career support sometimes. Actually, when he was on Wolves Academy, that dude was playing Ash.
Yeah, so. Maybe that's why the team failed.
Probably.
I mean, when
he's back on his...
He had his foray into entry. It didn't work. Now he's all the way back to support.
Okay, that's why. Speaking of,
Forrest.
okay, Shanson, Salt.
Yep. That's Mr. Salt.
I played some ranked with Salt. Salt is good at the video game. He was really good when he played with what's it called too? Maxily. I don't remember what that team was called. I'm forgetting.
I remember. Was it Depth?
I don't remember, but he was on that team and he was a maniac. And obviously starting out killing Forrest, who's I don't know what Forrest. Forrest is a maniac, punching a hole in a wall. But he's dead immediately. You do don't sleep on Salt. You peek him like that, you will get folded.
I mean, Psychosis is about to just like not peek him and run away, and he's just not having a good time. He's about to run right past somebody pushing in a bathroom, but instead it's just a drone. But okay, Psychosis, that's not your smoke button in Valorant. That's an impact nade. As Baring's gonna take out Serial. Good refrag. Very, very delayed, but it'll keep the man advantage at 4-4. Nice and even, with not a whole lot of map control on the side of INCONTROL Nation's attack, but with West Garfield peeling back, they understand that, yeah, guys, do you know what's more important than the second floor? The bomb site, and I guess Oil Pit is Bio. The most athletic mute you've ever seen in your life is going for the flank.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just kind of crouching there right now. Okay, looks like he's going at Rafters.
Yep,
so that is
going for the flank-a-rooney.
Yeah, that is problematic because as at this juncture, INCONTROL does not seem concerned with such prospects. Bio is laying there. He ain't going yet. He's got Baring here in assistance. Looks like they're going to try to make a tandem play. I imagine if Bio goes for that flank, he would go all up and about and around the main stairs so that him and Baring aren't stacking on each other. Yeah, so that's exactly what's happening. Baring's up. Bio's going to probably rotate around while Baring's taking. No, wait, they're going to run into each other. That's not what I expected. He literally did the opposite of what I expected, but obviously I have the outlines. He doesn't. Meanwhile, INCONTROL is literally walking into Rudy. Rudy just gives his cheeks up to JJ, and in the meantime, gives up all of Church. Psycho holding down AK's here. It's just Baring, who was last seen on the flank, last one standing for West Garfield, and he also gets folded like some church clothes and INCONTROL. Well, they looked in control in that first round. That's my only INCONTROL game joke of the entire season. I'm not going to say it anymore.
Yeah. That one was a rough round for West Garfield. You got to give respect. Yeah. And Forrest is wondering what Jackal's HP was. It was like 90.
It's like 100. Forrest, you didn't even hit him, bro.
Yeah, he maybe got like one bullet with the Roni, like through a wall. And at that point, like you just have a Nerf gun and you're like just sending some darts down range. And more than anything, it just made Jackal mad as opposed to actually hurting him.
That was weird though. Because I was thinking like, oh, Baring's going to take the fight, right? And and they're all going to freak out. Oh, he's flicking blue. But then Bio's on the lurk above, right? And they wouldn't expect that. But then Bio just ran where Baring was. Of course, that's hindsight. I'm looking at it. I literally have wall hacks. I'm literally cheating. I'm literally looking at this and I see everything. Bio does not. But then again, like I said, that also just fundamentally doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Since they had no idea he was in Rafters, I'm pretty sure. But either way, missed opportunity here and there. Psycho's throwing impacts. He's just flipping around throwing impacts like he's shooting Sova darts in Valorant or something. I don't know what he's doing. He did get a kill.
He did.
But he's like losing his mind.
But guess, I mean, he didn't have any impact nades left. And his kill was also impactless.
10 seconds to
True.
True.
I mean, they're going for it again. They're honestly,
they're running it back. Turbo style.
Force doesn't punch a wall and die, and Psycho remembers what game he's playing. That could have went better. Honestly, INCONTROL didn't do anything that crazy. It's kind of West Garfield being equally crazy.
Yeah,
so maybe
I'm gonna give Bio the benefit of the doubt that maybe he went for the flank, and like as soon as he hopped in to server, he like saw a flank drone or something.
Yes.
And he's like, okay, yeah, no, I can't do this anymore.
But something I didn't see, you know.
Yeah, gotta give the benefit of the doubt. We don't want to fully.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, a player of the caliber of B10 Logic, hopefully, would be able to make some better decisions. And you know, we don't have all the information. As Forrest, he's gonna understand that he has no information, and the drone coming in has information on him. He'll tuck all the way back down to site, as a whole lot of players, mainly Owen and Serial, are trying to find the location of Psychosis. Guess what? He's in gym. He's on the hatch. The wall is open, or opening. They're slowly pushing him back. There's a whole lot of players inside of Master. And Sirius, he hasn't quite gotten that window open. It's just pre-firing out. As you didn't know, this is nowhere close to the bomb site at all.
Which is kind of what you want. You want the attackers to fight for every inch, every nook and cranny. Already defenders dropping down, but I believe there's still some bastions of resistance on that top floor. It's B10. B10 Logic is swinging Jacuzzi, and he's gonna, swing and knock out Serial. Zof, who had no idea. Oh. But of course, Bio just has too many things to look at that point. But that's a strong kill early on. Zofia, who I'm pretty sure didn't get to use your utility on anything in particular except Assault Wall. That's a strong 1-for-1, I would say, and especially at the time killed. about
there's
to be
a shield downstairs. There's some banshees. Those can be pesky as you're going towards your execute. You know, when you're wondering where an attack is pushing from, you just hear, then you know. That's nice. That's always nice to have on the defensive side, especially because Rudy, he has that shield pushed over towards main. He can swing, and if anybody walks down those stairs, not a fun gunfight to take. Instead, it'll have to be probably aggression coming in from Moto as the deputy, Mr. JJ Blast. He's taking care of that hatch with quick precision.
Speaking of shields, you know, that one facing bottom main into main stairs. Well, Bile's kill just got a hell of a lot more important. So important that Salt's just going to have to try to force blue. They don't probably feel confident pushing main. I say that as Rudy dies. Again to JJ through the moto door, and Salt with a little bit of movement, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He takes control of blue, but Sirius trying to join him in blue gets taken out. And in the meantime, of course, Garfield has lost control of Church. The wall's open next to Barring, so he could perhaps deny the play. Barring line it up. He misses narrowly, and just like that, INCONTROL again takes Church off the back. JJ just walked through moto door again. A maniac. Phase up.
Phase up indeed. I'm on my knees begging, groveling, pleading, manifesting, praying that Rudy didn't just get shot in the back again on the same shield. I'm hoping.
That's
I'm hoping. If he died the exact same way, then I don't know if Rudy can be salvaged.
I mean, he's got two things to look at. Maybe he was, I mean, okay, there's actually something to break down there, Connor, because they lost blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means Rudy is probably hoping that his teammates are going to be in blue looking into the moto, but when they aren't, then he's losing his mind because he has that open hole on main.
Yeah, he has a bunch of stuff to worry about.
Yeah, he's got too much stimuli to look at, so he's like
overstimulated.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to play that spot with no one in blue.
Yeah. Which is interesting because, you know, you got 4 players back to site and you put 2 under the kitchen hatch, which sure wasn't going to get opened, but you would think you would want somebody in blue.
I guess that's the con of that strat, though. Usually you don't have enough utility back on the site.
Yeah.
You run around like maniacs. You burn 2 minutes, but in exchange, you have nothing.
You are naked on the bomb site.
A couple banshees, but that ain't enough to hold with.
No, that ain't enough.
Not in this day and age.
That's why when I was talking, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna have like shields and stuff on site. It's like, oh wait, no, they don't. They have one. They have one and some banshees.
One that's easily flamed, somewhat clearly, because JJ's 5-0 doing that. He's just walking through moto 2 rounds in a row and he gets 5
He is
kills.
the clubhouse warrior, I guess.
Apparently, so much so they're not even gonna try basement again. Obviously, it's 2 different instances of their own that just didn't work, and they probably don't want to turtle. Yeah. So here we are to Cash, where Bio is, and Psycho, both on those blue stairs looking to instigate.
Bio, because, you know, he felt so athletic on the roam last time. He's gotten even more athletic. Operator. He's on the Jaeger. Bio on the Jaeger. Literal chills going through my body.
Who says like he's surrounded by shooters? He's the shooter.
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, right now it's only Barring and him that are shooting. I guess we'll give it to Psycho. You know, he got that 1 kill.
Is he gonna map this wall properly though? That's the big. Oh, he got away.
Beautiful.
Wow. I thought he was
a
gonna
Maverick
die.
that knew how to Maverick the wall. Amazing. Incredible. Absolutely
Biblical. Did he just shoot his own drone? There's no Mozzie, my brother.
Yeah, there's no Mozzie.
So Sirius is not off to a good start of marketability. He's shooting radios in his own drone. Like, focus up.
Focus up. As I don't quite know if Inc are going to go for a garage split, but considering the locations of a lot of their attackers, seems like a plat and con kind of split, which means that garage pressure from Forest, we've seen him thrive in those positions before. That crossfire all the way through the bomb site. Ooh, Bio, that recoil got a little bit ahead of him. I think he would have gotten that kill through the mav holes that somebody was peeking, but unfortunately cannot land the shots. But more than anything, like I was saying, that Forest angle through all of Cash is going to be incredibly impactful. I think there's actually 2 players over towards Rafters. Nope, Barring rotated into Cash, and he's kind of... He's in CC. He's aggressively swinging the breach. Absolute madman. Down goes Serial as more shots are coming in. Sirius can't land a shot. But nade from JJ will land onto Rudy. That's 6-0 for the young deputy.
More importantly, they just obliterate the player on the platform, meaning they can play in server like maniacs. There are 2 of them just standing there. Obviously, Owen's gonna have to go nucleosis here. When he drops down, he's gonna have to kill a bunch of them. He's gonna have to at least kill this one mine. He will, barring. And now the plant's gonna go down. You see how desperate it is for the defense that they're playing such exposed positions. Forrest with the noodle arm, but he gets the double kill anyway, thanks to that. And it's just Owen and Sirius, and Owen's stuck on a rappel. Or if he gets on that balcony, it's likely gonna be a swing or be swung situation. Sirius, OG Sirius, he's actually gonna hop his Psycho. I guess forgot, but he could die to that. Which creates some bit of an opening for the remaining 2 attackers, but keep in mind that diffuser's kind of dropped in the middle of nowhere, and B10 Logic is holding down that A-bomb. He gets walked in on though. Maybe gonna land those shots. Sirius is no, neither of them. Kind of a little bobbing and weaving going on. But Bile comes out on top. And honestly, that defense, that was as gritty as it gets in every regard, even down to the C4 toss from Forrest, dude. So he said the fact that he missed it actually got him a double.
Yep. He would have just gotten 1, but instead he got 2. You know, patience is a virtue. And sometimes messing up. There's no such thing as mistakes, just happy little accidents, especially for a young Forrest. Boom.
That's unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Imagine them watching the replay of this.
Yeah.
They're gonna be disgusted.
They're gonna be disgusted and be like, wow.
There's I don't know what the timestamp was on it.
It was very close. It was like it was under a second, I believe. Around a second.
Disgusting.
Hey, before us, that long angle went huge. Huge. Good stuff from Forrest. Now we're gonna see a little bit of a change, CJ. A change back to its origins.
I was about to say.
But mainly the operators changing. No more Mute Mozzie.
They're anchoring, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. They're anchoring. They got the Cade. They're gonna make it so kitchen hatch is hard to get.
Somewhat.
Actually, maybe just do dirt, even though that pressure hasn't come through on the side of Ink. It's been the good old Moto drop.
Honestly, it's going to be hard to get just because they're not running Ace.
Yep.
Which is, if that's what West Garfield intended on doing, that is...
I mean, Ink are the ones that banned the Hib.
That's melon brain from West Garfield. That's why they switched it up like this. That's why they're pros.
Mm-hmm.
Or some of them.
It's a proper read. They're reading at a 12th grade reading level, the AR scale. About to take a test as Forrest is. Do you know why he's doing this?
Why was he doing?
Look at what Sean's op is and what they showed. He is proning up here so he doesn't leave footsteps, and just as soon as he does that, barring puts footsteps where he was. But he proned out of sight so he could not get Jackal scanned.
Well, I guess this is a good bait and switch, right?
Yeah, they'll scan barring and they won't scan Forrest. They'll see like barring is somewhere else and be like, okay, yeah, it's clear. And then Forrest will strike.
Well, that's one way to get on the board in a noticeable way. It's at least a double kill waiting to happen unless, of course, the drone does this clear instead, which would just invalidate everything. Which is exactly what's going to happen. Oh, wait, unless barring shoots it. Now, I don't know. We didn't see what the drone saw, but I'm sure the drone saw Forrest, and that's why he said, all right. The jig's up.
It was a worthy try, but not quite validated. As now blue control, or at least secret side, is in the firm hands of the attackers, and pretty much the entirety of the first floor is as well. JJ getting that Maverick moto going on. We'll get the hatch opened, and doesn't seem like anybody on West Garfield Park wants to immediately challenge him. As Forrest wants to more so challenge this bottom main angle that we've seen. Definitely caused some issue with the pressure on the side of INCONTROL. Bio, he'll fall at the hands of Salt, Shawnson, as the Jackal will just swing right down, and as soon as Forrest stops holding that angle, the Jackal strikes.
Fortunately, strikes his brother in arms. Psycho will go down as well to this Jackal. And now with 2 defenders holding down blue, it's safe to say Serial is the most impactful donut. Okay, just kidding. He's going to get slammed by Barning, which might open up a flank. Maybe not. Forrest actually takes down JJ as well. Then suddenly this attack just fell apart, especially when JJ can't just walk through Moto. The shield has been switched up as well. That's a significant switch up. Rudy just gets slammed off that shield. I was just going to hype it up, and then he just dies. And I called him Booty. It's just Forrest and Shawnson in a 1 versus 1. Of course, this is a Jackal. But did Forrest actually step foot in this area? And does Shanson have? Does he have the gall to pull out the scanner in this context? He does, and Forrest hears it. If you didn't know. And he just slams him like that. And somehow the defenders all that round back. Actually, it was kind of like a clawing of. There was a lot of clawing going on. It's like
that was Forrest going huge.
Yeah, how about, let's go with that.
Forrest did go huge.
I didn't mean to call him booty, by the way. That was literally just.
Yeah,
that was a worst.
Unfortunate for Rudy. You know, when your name rhymes like that, and you have your teaming with bio and barring, there's a lot of B's. All of a sudden, Rudy becomes booty, and Borist, and Bikosis.
Like a B emoji.
West Garfield bark.
I just
get a dog as their logo.
As Rudy gets a lot of flack, that was not me assaulting Rudy, okay? I did not mean to say booty. All right. Just want to get so good past that.
Rudy is playing not fun positions.
That was shit. I mean, Rudy put
Speaking of dogs, like we said with bark and B emoji, you know, we say those are the female dog spots.
I like what he did with that shield, though.
Yeah, that was a nice shield. Unfortunately, just getting pre-fired.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, if Shanson's Mr. Salt's crosshair placement was not impeccable, he probably would have gotten that kill. I believe in Rudy.
I do too.
But
I mean, he's 1-4, but he could. He's gonna bounce back. He's just been playing. I think 3 of his deaths are in church.
Yep. The first 4 rounds he took an L. But for the rest, he'll bounce back.
10 seconds left.
Now we'll see Jim for the first time, CJ. Kind of interesting that this bomb site has taken so long to come out. All the way to round 5. I think a lot of teams have kind of switched towards Jim being almost a primary, especially over Cash, but yeah. It's here now.
I mean, you know, I'm just saying. I don't know if you see the Jim Picks bio posts, but maybe that's why. Yeah, he do be living in there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's just not comfortable in a gym that's not real. I would think he would be.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, you know, it makes him want to just leave the game and go work out instead.
Well, let's see. Forrest, okay, he's going to get a kill here. Serial is just not having a good time. He's the soggy Serial right now.
Yep, the soggy. I was about to say he's been left in the milk too long and nobody wants that.
He's been left in the water. This dude's like cereal with water right now.
This dude's like an almond milk. And who wants almond milk with their cereal? Just get some regular milk.
Like, he pushed in quick and aggressively. He's not afraid. As neither is Barring, he's just going to push down the stairs and likely pre-fire this Maverick. That's the hard breach. That's your diffuser. That's your leader. This round just went through the window. Just like that in the first minute and 10 seconds, we are in a 1 versus 5. Owen. Who, unfortunately, for memeing purposes, he's not the one who's Owen on his team.
Wow.
Barring slams him off the rappel, though. And...
Shoo.
West Garfield making gains in gym. They don't even get to the gym. The site, I mean, it might as well not even have been gym.
They didn't even leave home. They took their pre-workout and said, hey, let's play Siege.
Everything happened at CCTV.
Yeah, that was a slaughter. That play from Barring, highly underrated. That push took some gall, took some cojones. And it really worked out. Especially because he was able to rotate back up red and hold the cross as soon as Forrest stopped swinging. You know, the player just walked in trying to chase Forrest. And JJ feels like he's not having as much of an impact anymore, so he's going to go for the Monty. Do you know what that indicates towards me, CJ?
A lack of confidence in one's inner chakra. Oh.
No. What position was the undoing of Ink's attack last time?
Yeah, yes, the long angle rafter with C4.
Yes, now they're going to use the Monty to take rafters.
You know, you said long angle and C4 in the same sentence, and it's kind of funny, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's that sniper C4 that Forrest threw is definitely problematic.
Yeah, so they're going to push rafters with the Monty and clear that on easy mode.
You would think.
You would think, but I just have a feeling that Forrest is still going to go for 2 kills in rafters, even with a Monty pushing him. I just have a sinking feeling that Forrest is built different on this map of Clubhouse, as he already has a 4 KD, 8-2 through 6 rounds. And they can get the 4-2 after starting off not so hot. West Garfield really is a momentum team, man. See, there's one for Forrest.
And he's 1 for 1 in spawn. Is that even a spawn peek, or does someone just...
I think they just walked up to the window or the door, and you just don't peek the door.
Who is
He was
Ash?
inside?
Are you... Salt!
Salt is a madman. Wow. Okay. Dumb plays aside.
What?
Don't challenge Forrest like that, ladies and gentlemen. That's your free coaching tip of the day. Do not just aggressively walk at a very pre-fireable angle to Forrest, who has the high ground.
You know
Ahead of
more
your
concerning?
Monty, by the way.
What's more, yeah, that, I mean, notwithstanding, that's ridiculous. But there's also the fact that, I mean, when you're sitting in rafters, what else are you even looking at? Like, as a
You're
player,
only looking at the door.
if you're not looking at the door with the wall not even open, you're a Muppet. So, I mean, and Forrest is not a Muppet. Montaigne will push up now.
He has no
without an action
impacts.
support.
That's unlucky.
He's just going to die.
Yeah.
Wait, well, no, is the plat even open?
No, I don't think so.
So Forrest can honestly just look at the Montaigne here. Cereal, let's go. Cereal's on the board.
I told you he's getting 2 in rafters.
Of course.
He got 3 technically.
But Owen has something to say about it from the beach. Which I was wondering, like, they did open it simultaneously, so that's some good teamwork. But at the end of the day, Forrest is still holding rafters. He's still alive and in charge. Grenades flying out into ADSs and discs. And right now, Forrest just stood up. He'd probably kill his thermite. Because, oh, no, just kidding. Owen's a knower. And it's just Rudy. Rudy, who's got no smokes. But he's got a pocket full of dream. He's sitting here, holding this position. This is a very exposed and aggressive position. And Sirius is kind of anticipating that he's playing this aggressively. But Rudy's gonna hit the rotation. And now they surely know that he's pinned on the bomb. But Sirius is gonna lose that fight anyway. Meaning Owen has to stand up on the platform, and this is one of the hardest gunfights as an attacker to win. Especially with how the breach is opened. Rudy, with his health too, should, in theory, win this. So much so, yeah, he's just gonna swing up.
Yep, so we said Rudy was bouncing back, baby.
Rudy.
The
Rudy cat.
What a clutch. But more than anything, Forrest went kind of crazy. I anticipated him getting like 2 in rafters, but he technically got 3 because I couldn't anticipate Salt just walking in 30 seconds into the round with no drone, no util, no brain cells.
That's a play. It is a thing. You just open the door and walk in. Okay? It is something I've heard about being a thing. But it just, when you have a Montaigne and it's supposed to be easy.
That's why it is a troll, is because it's a Monty. You had a Monty.
It's just.
But I foresaw, what I saw in my head and I envisioned was the Monty standing right next to Forrest and then him popping up and smoking somebody, and that happened, so.
That's why usually when I see Montaigne and it's not like some dude from.
It's not Anaton.
CAG. Yeah, like if it's in
Alligator, I forget which one.
I think it's Anaton, but it's like every time I see a Montaigne from someone who doesn't play Montaigne, they get turned on or they do something ridiculous. It never is like something that people have full confidence in, if that makes sense. There's no shield players.
And it is an art.
It is an art.
Indeed an art.
You can't just pick Montaigne and say, that's not how that works.
10 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, Monty is
5 seconds remaining.
a fun time. Where you used to have like crazy Monty players, but now they're not really. They're few and far between because he's so slow, he's so hard to frag on. It requires a full team behind it. Yeah. We got a full team kind of roam. Johnson, Mr. Salt on the Ella. Not the shotgun though. Ella shotgun in blue? That's scary. Ella Scorpion and strip? Less scary.
Looks like it's not a dedicated Ella strip hold, which I would have said is the most innovative thing I've ever seen. But instead, he's just kind of walking around, you see. Grabbing a drink or two. And he's going to go back to site. So this is obviously an anchor. There's no roam setup. There's no castles, none of that. There's a lot of intel a fat boy intel, if I must say. Maestro and Echo, they're thick. They're not going to move very far. But they're going to have a lot of info on what in the world West Garfield's doing, which, I mean, down to the T. Oh!
Ooh!
Psychosis, I mean, does he have the old Aldo with the ACOG? How's he hitting shots like this at that distance?
I don't know. As the train blurs right by me. Psychosis going down, not necessarily ideal, but it seems like West Garfield want to go for a different kind of push. They're going to go for the good old tried and true kitchen dirt. Maybe a little bit of pressure for a late flank if the man count kind of allows it on the side of West Garfield. You could drop towards Moto and apply some pressure on the backside. As there's a lot of burning, a lot of util going over towards JJ inside of dirt. Does he have the shotgun too? Yes, he does. The Echo shotgun. Not a smoke. Instead, Owen will be on that, but having supplemented utility with the cams of the yokai drones inside of dirt before it was taken out is kind of interesting with this kit.
Problem is, no one actually, I mean, I know this is a crazy problem to have, but INCONTROL, no one from INCONTROL's actually died. So whoever's going to have to play these cams is someone who's also on the front line of battle. JJ's obviously going through it right now. A bunch of grenades flying at his face. 2 attackers coming at him. And of course, the players in church also have to deal with someone dropping the moto hatch. So all this info, it's almost intel overload. As barring awkward, he has to vault this shield, which means that's an easy freebie for JJ. And probably another if Forrest even bothers to continue, or rather commit to that. A 2v5, Rudy dropping. Obviously, they know he's here. They don't know exactly, but they hear and know that he's there. The Jaeger actually, I don't know what just happened there, but Thermite's dead. The site control is very much in favor of the defenders, and INCONTROL in their first defense. Hey, they put the brakes.
Yeah, they're putting on the clinic of how to defend basement. For last time, Inc. won it 2 times in a row early on. And then took Forrest going crazy to get a victory on that site. Now we go up to CCTV, which I would hope for West Garfield's take. They understand exactly what's going on, and they're going to maybe not sprint in immediately towards rafters and take that position, or, you know, go for a deeper plant if they go for that area, or at least try to pressure rafters a little bit if somebody like with a nitro is on that deep angle that we talked about.
I just can't get that vision out of my head. Nitro with like a 40 times scope on it.
Yeah.
I think I saw that on Reddit somewhere back in the day.
Now we see on our screen. Guess what we see now? Maybe we should post it on Reddit because the qualifier stage 2, it's coming up next weekend, actually. So if you're getting smoked here, getting pack watched, you're getting just obliterated, maybe you need to come in for the next qual. Another $50 or $80 if you bought the full pass for both. Then you can just come on in. Guaranteed 8 best of ones over the span of 2 days. A lot of game day reps at the very worst, or you get to go into closed qual with the BO3s if you're top 16. And then after that, if you win, you get to go into SCS and make history, baby.
I don't even know how I could follow that up. That was so good. Good job, Connor.
Yes.
Good job.
That's how we do here.
Now we're to see Steven Cash. Now, obviously, this defense is in stark contrast to the one we just witnessed. And there's 0. We went from intel abundant to 0. There's not even a bulletproof. So they are just...
That's interesting on this bomb site, because I feel like you need intel.
Maybe. INCONTROL disagrees.
They disagree. Only 1 nitro. They got the smokes at least to try to slow things down.
They have their headphones. They can just tell, you know, like, oh, they're in, guys. They're planting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Who needs intel for that? Who needs a live camera for something you can just use your headphones for?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many spots that you can play. And there's only so many ways that JJ can die. Barring will sniff him out quickly, as Owen has the nice nitro lineup. Could absolutely blow his teammate to smithereens if he so desires, but he'll show some restraint early on. As barring, he's trying to entry in towards G2. G1, G2, one of those walls. I don't know A lot of teams have different numbers, but the garage wall is what we'll say. Is seems like the garage plat split is what West Garfield are going to go for. Unless they decide that all the utility that Serial has is too much to overcome, then they can rotate quickly. Rudy will fall at the hands of Salt. That's a no Jerome play over towards Logi, which is really unfortunate because you just lost your secondary hard breacher that most likely would have gotten the con wall open.
Yeah, you just said no drone Jerome and hard breach in the same sentence.
Just not a good combo.
Less than ideal. See, barring his walls are malfunctioning. You see, he was tracing that gun. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
He's on the other side of the wall, barring. But yes, obviously they're losing contain on whoever that is, that maniac running around near construction. They have now confirmed it, but of course the damage has been done. Maybe Forrest will go to that wall instead, and obviously Bio still has his Smelmas, which could go off any second. We talked about how they didn't have intel, but they very much have an abundance of mute jammers, which will be swiftly dealt with by Forrest. Selma's going off. But is there a plat player? Probably Psychosis, surely, in this scenario.
Surely.
Sure.
We saw him, he was lurking over there before. Assault, he's still lurking on green box. Down goes the nade and the shield as Barring is looking for another one, cooking it out and taking a lot of damage in the meantime. Salt, he's not in a fun position, but he's still going to try to get a frag out, but can't quite as Barring will cut him down. A flurry of kills go orange. That's all for In Control. But it's an even 2-2 with Sirius in an interesting spot. Serial will fall at the hands of Forrest, but they didn't know where Sirius is. He's going to be able to take out Barring, and the bomb is going down from Forrest, and he's sticking it. They have no idea where this bomb is going down. Forrest gets away with a highway robbery. He'll be able to play the post plant. He got outside. He's going the full way around. Absolutely brained on is Sirius. He didn't even know what zip code to look for. That's why you need intel in sight.
I just cannot fathom that we actually sat there for the first 30 seconds of the round talking about how I'm joking about intel and headphones. and then he proceeds to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I was joking. I didn't mean for the round to end that way, but it literally did. I don't know if someone was saying, yo, on your left, and he just wasn't there. Like,
yeah.
What? That's heartbreaking if you're In Control. Another round, they're probably going to watch back and just be punching the air. That's theirs all day. But it wasn't. Because that's what the score at the top says. That's a West Garfield round. I mean, incredibly clutch from Forrest. A lot of people would have... I don't know if y'all can hear me typing. A lot of people would have started typing, oh, I'm in 0-0, I give up. I'm just going to get off. I've seen that. But Forrest stuck that. Like a champion. Like a warrior. Like a dog.
And he won.
And he won the round. And he's 13-4. Like, he could be playing for KD. This is some random qual for someone with the stats.
You think they're taking stats? We're not.
You know, Forrest could have, for all intents and purposes, you know, screw this. I'm playing for stats. No, he sticks it. That's why he's a genius. A pro league caliber.
He's a veteran
genius
of the scene. And hopefully somebody we see in Vegas next split. I would love to see Forrest at the NAL, man. I want it so bad.
Why would we need him there? And we can get him at the Pro-Am.
Yes, we will. If they're able to qualify and, you know, get some more points and keep up this dominance, as we're seeing a repeat of the bomb site that, for all intents and purposes, for In Control, definitely, I wouldn't say definitely, but arguably should have gone into their favor. Definitely too strong of a word.
Definitely. I'm gonna go with definitely for 500.
Definitely for 500. Alrighty, Alec.
I just don't see. That's so unbelievable that it hasn't registered to me yet. Psycho, honestly, Psycho's just been a traffic gun in this game, but he will tag up Shanson. What? He lost that gunfight. Salt just swung back into that and killed Psycho. Thankfully, Barring is there. I mean, I just cursed this man. I called him a traffic cone and he dies to the most. Did you see where Salt was?
Yeah.
And he won that? Threw someone under a door. Trap. I mean, damn, Psycho? But yes, we're
that's
still
one of the that's a mental choker.
Yeah, that's one
Art
I'd
is
be
on the
checked
hunt.
out. I'd be tabbed out if I was him. No cap.
Barring really wanted to kill Owen, but Owen going on the world tour, full rotation, went through the basement, popped his own hatch. He's his own man. could potentially go up red and rejoin his teammates on site. Having a nitro cell could be nice for the red holes, or if he's able to keep lounge control, could be even more massive depending on where the execute from West Garfield comes forward. Drones coming out towards Garage over on Swamp. That's yellow pinged by the cam. They know that they're about to take Garage, and Lounge is now in the hands of Barring. Floor nades could potentially land onto somebody, but Serial, he's in enough of an off position. You typically don't nade Calc Table, and more than anything, some of those nades will definitely need to be allocated over towards JJ. He's getting flashed, he's getting burned, he's about to get swung. Actually, no, Rudy's down below. I misread those silhouettes as the pre-fires are running through. The Maverick of Forest, he's going to claim a victim. Pistol out. Now they have Rafters control. They have Breach control. They have everything for an execute.
Everything except one big, significant problem. There are still... Oh, wow. That was almost the greatest grenade of 2020. Two of them should be dead. C4 is going to fly out, though. Gets forced, but not the planter. What kind of unfortunate mess is that? For in control. The sledge missing his shots, and this is somewhat winnable for the defense, but Serial promptly gets one between the eyes from Rudy. And it's just Serious on 1 HP with an SMG-11 against someone repelling, and Bio on an AK-12. Remember we said Bio's a shooter? Bio's just going to rotate 10,000 miles away. Bio's not taking any risks. And this, I mean, is how you should play this. There's conceivably no way Serious, OG Serious loses this one. He's going to try to bait it, and yeah, Rudy and Bio, either of them, just one bullet, and he's gone. And maybe their chances at winning this map are gone as they now go down 6-3 to West Garfield.
Yeah, West Garfield are a team that thrives on momentum, and they have quite a few rounds in a row. They're going streaky, going 4 in a row. Now they're on 2 in a row. They seem to have the attacks figured out that as soon as they kind of get the pieces, if they just flood, they can overwhelm and control. Except on basement, where they kind of weren't able to even get towards their execute phase, which is actually where any controller are going to be able to go back. Finally, their foray into CCTV was cut down. Barn could have swapped onto the fuse, which would have been interesting, but instead, he should probably stick the sledge. You know, a pretty good operator with nades, especially for basement where vertical control can actually matter. A very crucial part of the attack.
Pretty significant. I do like this triple hard reach tradition. It's not really a tradition, but this concept, this idea, this philosophy that West Garfield is perpetuating before our very eyes. Triple hard breach. And when Forrest is playing mad the way he is, you just walked up on JJ and Raptors, took control. That's an interesting combination. That's for sure. And it's obviously working. Going in the basement as well, it gives you a lot of flexibility. We talked about how In Control was not doing this. And obviously they got kind of pigeonholed at times, even though they were still winning the rounds, which is funny. But they got pigeonholed into doing this and that and maybe not going for that kitchen hatch, which is so strong. Obviously, that's not going to be the problem for West Garfield. They're going to be able to do pretty much whatever they want in terms of breaching. And from there, obviously, this team relies, as you said, on the momentum, on the tides, whether they're high or low, to execute and do what they need to do. And obviously, that experience, which they know what to do with what they have. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. There's no Echo shotgun inside of Dirt this time. There's not even a shield on the side of In Control, which was arguably the reason that they won, was that Dirt pressure just completely fell apart because pushing a shield is not easy. Instead, for In Control, they decided, you know what worked? Let's not do it this time. Let's completely change things up, where they're still going very, very bunker heavy. No roamers at all, which I will assume that somebody like Serial or Seanson, Mr. Salt, will go for a flank as soon as the positions of the defenders, or pardon me, the attackers, are more telegraphed and the pressure is surmounting in certain areas. Because this is a bomb site that, especially Church, it's pretty small. It's hard to find 5 positions to play for players, where I think Salt as well as Owen, they're going for an immediate kill onto the Maverick of Forest if he opens up that hatch. Maybe a nitro cell on both sides, or maybe just challenging directly with bullets. If Forest kind of exposes himself and improperly mavs, they could net a free frag.
Very tall task, what you're asking here. You think Forrest would fall for such a paltry trick? He's even got Rudy in support. Rudy knows. Rudy's played enough hard breach to. They're actually not even going to play that game. I'm just going to termite it. When you tell me you have triple hard breach, you could literally. Oh, just do this and that. Yeah, they can do things for raw, pure convenience, and that's what they do. As we're under a minute in this attack, of course, there's the blue flank being held. Psychosis actually droning from Oil Pit. You can expect a drop to come through there, I imagine, considering. And also looks like there's a church push coming through. So we've got a church blue coming through. Actually looks like he's going to go for the stairs, Psychosis, with Rudy on the hatch. And Forrest just walking right down the hallway. Gets JJ. Pushes into church. Could find two, but doesn't find either. Bio goes down as well. But in the meantime, Psychosis is finally woken up in blue. Again, Bio's still down on the floor. Barring and Rudy have worked their way in armory, but Barring just gets eviscerated. And it's just Sean, son, a.k.a. Salt, who's just shaking in his boots in church. With 1 HP, he is Thunderbird. He could run over some Kona stations. Rudy with the horrible timing, doesn't see him cross, but he hears them. Rudy with the god tier headphones, which honestly was probably the story of this half.
Rudy woke up, baby.
Oh, it's just so unfortunate. Just going back to that cash round, the fact that Forrest run that round, I think completely snuffed any chance of momentum. Any chance of winning this game out of the window for INCONTROL. You lose a round like that, backbreaker. But they did fight. They did claw up to that point. It just felt like that was the that's where the Kit Kat got broken.
Yep, Forrest, good play. The push up main. He just hit that confident.
That was ridiculous
play.
too.
Yeah. I mean, that was the intel. They were droning site and they were like, hey guys, there's nobody watching from box 3. Let's just go get a free kill. And that opened up the round. Killing a dirt player, huge for the kitchen dirt push. And sure, you had a little bit of pushback from AKs, but ultimately the trades went the way of West Garfield. They had the man advantage. They were able to pop off just enough to squeak that the final round out. On a basement attack, that's kind of all you need. You just need to win it once, whatever. At the end of the day, a 7-3, I don't think West Garfield are going to lose any sleep over a pretty solid victory like that.
I bet the vibes are indeed high for this team.
Immaculate, even.
They look like a group of guys. They work well together. I don't see how there's any personality clashes. And of course, you've got the experience to make it work. In those clutch situations, you saw Rudy with Nucleosis. And obviously there at the end, he had the great coverage. It's hard to overcome that when you lose those rounds that could go either way, those coin flips. It's hard to stay in a game when you lose those. And of course, when Forrest is playing like this, he should have had 2 there, but he got shut down for once. But it was obviously
still
too little
dropped
too
a
late.
15 bomb.
Yeah, I mean,
club.
He was like, a spawn peek or 2? He missed a spawn peek. There at the end, he narrowly missed 2. He could have dropped 20 today.
Oh, yeah. So, another free bit of coaching. Do not take West Garfield to Clubhouse. Pretty good at it. Seems like, CJ, they ate their Mike and Ike on this map, right? What does Mike and Ike do for us?
It takes our candy game to the next level. Honor, of course. You know, I actually went to the gas station today. I actually saw it.
Did you get any?
No.
Unlucky.
Because I'm poor. But maybe you guys are more monetarily fortunate than me. Maybe you could pop into your nearest gas station, get a Mike and Ike, and level up your candy game. They come in all kinds of shapes, flavors, and forms. Speaking of forms and shapes, this guy's UI is ridiculous. He's got like the small UI. This is Wi-Fi R6. Who's currently in a 4-5 affair on Cafe with the bathroom all open. This Jake Shiesty.
Oh, this is Thinking Nade and Razor against Valkyrie.
Oh, and they're hanging in there.
Yeah, they are.
Knock on wood. Currently looking like they may go down 6-4 as Wi-Fi gets taken out.
Yeah, don't peek Razor.
Is this like a boosting service? You've got Thinking Nade and Razor. Just like, what is this? Of course, Razor's dropping 10.
Yep.
Why wouldn't he be?
He's crazy.
He just burned fast.
I think we need to check on his PC at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because he
Honestly, I'm just gonna sit back here and enjoy the comms. I love it when we do these. I love hearing the comms of teams.
I agree. This is a perfect time for us to shut up.
Can do it for this site, yeah, not for last one though.
What do you mean?
I can't make it if we go to bar. I can make it for this site, but I can't make the holes if we go bar.
Why?
I just don't have them.
The
Dude,
red
I
dot
don't
UMP.
set up
It's like
things
one,
in
it's like one pump. Someone can. Someone will.
I can.
What are your thoughts on that, CJ?
Like, it takes one pump.
didn't Fox run it.
It's not this round.
I think
There's
so.
the dude used to run ankle grip, extendo,
Got it.
red dot on pulse. He probably still does. So maybe he's inspired by Fox.
Maybe.
Made him.
What?
I made it.
But there's no extended barrel, so maybe he's his own man.
Maybe he is his own man.
You can.
They now know the bomb site is reading.
How about if we go far?
Do we reinforce train hatch?
If you
Wait,
want.
vert grip too?
Yeah, you got the vert grip.
Very perturbing combination. Look at how like you see how ADS is in and it just
Yeah.
there's that's a lot to take in.
It is.
They did kill 2 drones though, you see that? That's huge.
Yeah.
Especially
Shiesty
against
boys. The Shiesty boys are. Their drone econ is. They did not steal all of the
Three.
SSG pre-placed from Thinking Nade.
Yeah, like that is easily the most terrifying thing about Thinking Nate is you will never flank him.
No.
You'll just forget it.
Windows.
Him and his stupid little top hat on Thatcher, which he unfortunately he can't wear it anymore. But Thinking Nate, when he had the top hat Thatcher, was actually just a final boss. You just couldn't get around him.
Yeah, you're playing against them in a scrim, and your teammate goes, "Hey, go for the flank," and you're like, "No, they're Thinking Nade."
I just honestly, those are some of those demoralizing scrims she'll play. Let me just put it like that, and it's all because he's literally just a brick wall on the flank watch. He's like Matumbo on the flank watch.
No, 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 not today.
I think it's like a half.
Matumbo with an afro. He fits that big afro in a top hat.
Already. In freeze, I think.
They showed open bathroom.
Keep that in mind when you're watching this round, because they're not gonna flank. You're gonna get slammed. Okay, so have they lost top control already?
I think so.
One's pushing up inner bar.
Just one guy up there.
I put a nitro though. They're either freezer or inner
He's all the way back on white stairs.
Freezer, not inner bar.
And unfortunately, if Wi-Fi had a nitro right now, get a free kill.
Yeah, he's still there. CS though. Single
One
door.
bathroom still?
Yeah.
One's outer bar. Yeah, under sky.
I think, on reading door.
Shit on me. Wow. In shot. In cocktail.
Is Nade on?
We're gonna have to rely on
If I play you, man.
Nade's just going crazy on the hib.
He's more than capable of doing that too.
That's
Wow, they just
fuck that.
what? Did they just double peek that guy?
Just went up red sludge.
You're playing where you are. He's in bathroom. What's your hatch?
Still C4 Wi-Fi or no?
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah, we don't have C4.
Or reading door. Or reading door.
Wanna
One pillar, one train hatch.
I dropped laundry, I think.
play vert on reading door.
Make him walk in. Nice.
Coming up
I mean, 2v1. This isn't horrible. This is not a horrible. Yeah, now it is.
Yeah,
I
but
forgot Razor was up. Forgot Razor was up.
Yeah, Razor's just holding oblique angles. Look at this.
Yeah. I mean, that's the right idea. You got the call that, hey guys, he's upstairs. And it's like, oh, he's probably gonna drop the hatch. Big brain Razor.
That's a I honestly like between West Garfield and then you've got the
Shreddy boys.
X Pro boosting service with Razor and Thinking Nate running around. Like, what is going on in these calls right now? It's crazy stuff.
know.
No, you're gonna watch another perspective. Any other cute games going on at this juncture?
Yeah, I do not know if we have any other games. Okay,
No.
unfortunately, we do not have any other games, so we are going to throw it to a quick intermission. There's still 2 more games left to be played today, so make sure to stay tuned. We'll be back in probably like 5 minutes whenever the bracket ends and we roll it and pick a beautiful game for y'all.
Draw.
2 seconds left. It's gonna come down.
Favor making a third as he looks up. Bacon finds the draw. 3.